QBs getting reps here. That is Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, and Will Howard. You're not seeing Aaron Rodgers there. Also, no DK Metcalf, who is on the team. Aaron Rodgers is not. Is this a bad look, or what are you expecting to be accomplished here without their starting quarterback?
Well, so this is kind of like,
this drives home your point. Now, once you see the ball flying around.
So Wilds and I were talking before the show about a conflict I have, just honestly like a principle issue, which is I grew up in a union household. I am a union guy, and I feel like it is my obligation to remind the audience the players in the last contract negotiation wanted more money. The owners were like, we don't want to give you more money. Instead, we'll give you less mandatory practices. The players took it, and I feel like the owners did that knowing, well, they won't be mandatory, but the coaches are going to treat them like they're mandatory, and the media in lockstep
like DK
will
Metcalf
shame any
there.
player for not being there. So I feel almost ashamed of having the opinion I'm about to have, which is, I understand they're all optional. If a team trades for you and makes you one of the highest paid players in the history of the franchise, I think it's reasonable for them to wish you would show up to even all the optional stuff.
Yeah.
The argument on DK's behalf would be, I don't need to get on the same page as any of these guys. They're not going to be throwing me the ball, which it gives him an extra out, Brew, because Aaron's not there either. And DK obviously assumes Aaron's going to be my quarterback this year, not Mason Rudolph or Will Howard.
Sounds like the rotting of the culture.
I was going to say, and so it begins.
Yep.
I mean, this is it. This is the benefit. If Rodgers was here, I bet Metcalf would be there. I bet Metcalf
that's interesting.
would be there. And so, because you're right, he doesn't need to get on the same page as these guys. So I just think, and I think that the way they've let Aaron control this situation is reminiscent in this regard to the way he controlled the situation with the Jets.
Yes.
And we saw how that went, and I don't think it's going to go well. Like I said, best thing could happen for them. I like Will Howard. I don't know what he'll be, but I think he's got talent, and I think he's a solid quarterback. So maybe he can learn something from Aaron Rodgers.
He's one of your guys, Will Howard is. A lot of times you try to steal our guys.
He's on the same part of Brew's roster as Kyle Trask. I have a bonus Steelers take coming up in 2 topics.
Okay.
Okay. Let's talk about this, though, then. I'm not going to put this all on Aaron Rodgers because this is on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like saying, oh, they let the Aaron Rodgers control the situation, this or that. No, I mean, this is 100% on the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was with Aaron Rodgers, with the Jets, because the Jets signed him and gave him a bunch of money and et cetera, and it was like, okay, here you go. Here are the keys to the kingdom. And, then everything else kind of unfolded how it did. This right here now is on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, having DK Metcalf not there, and I get what Nick Wright is talking about everything is optional, et cetera, but listen, especially when you get to a new team, you're getting to a new team, this is when your team is getting together. Even if you're the type of person where you're like, I know my body, I don't want to be, getting kind of suited up, putting on a helmet and running around right now. I go hard during the regular season. I go hard during when it's time to legitimately practice. You already know that I'm going through my own individual workouts, working out, doing drills, et cetera, but still just being here. Even if you're just in sweats right now, just kind of hanging out, getting to know everyone, standing around, just even that goes a long, long way. Because the whole goal is to try to create an environment that it's beyond just a job. So when you're looking at something through the lens of a union and a CBA and Players Association and et cetera, well, then it's very much just a job. And this is where sports is very interesting, because just a job in general, jobs can be your life, and they can be just a job. And sometimes they're both, and sometimes they're kind of this, kind of that, kind of this, kind of that. And, the best players, the best teams, for the most part, blur those lines. Now, of course, every team always tries to preach of hey, we're family. And it's that can also get kind of lost in the nonsense as well. But you do want to create an environment where the players want to be there, where you do feel like, yeah, you know what? Like I said, I'm not going to work out right now because of the reasons why I've already laid out, but like I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to be here. I'm going to be around these guys. I'm going to start building rapport. We're going to start having chats. We're going to start having inside jokes, whatever. We're going to start to get to know each other. We're going to feel good about being around each other right now, you know? And for some people, and I think this is like the tiniest little margin here, percentage here, is that you can have some players that are like, man, I am an incredibly high achiever. And because of that, I need boundaries. And I'm not showing up to OTAs because I'm not. But better believe that once I'm there, I'm gonna light everything on fire. I'm gonna be a beast. I'm gonna be a monster, and there's not gonna be a single negative thing that you could say about me. And it would almost be like fair game. But in order for me to get there, I need to do my own thing. I'm in Paris right now. I'm in Malibu. Whatever. I need to have strong cutoff points. But DK isn't that guy, and he doesn't have that personality, and he can be kind of a diva. So it's just kind of like, you know, it's just like, why can't you just show up? So I don't know. And it is messier when you don't have a quarterback as your true leader of the team, like especially because it's also different when the quarterback kind of says to the wide receiver, yo, man, I want you to show up. I want to start doing drills with you. I want to start getting some work with you. And a wide receiver often will not necessarily say no to a quarterback in that regard because they know the quarterback is the one who's responsible for getting them the ball. You know, I mean, you'd have to be a special type of wide receiver to say no to like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. And that would be a rotting culture and a rotting personality, unless there's like real reason why you're not there. If you're like, you know what, it's my daughter's birthday and me and my wife, like, you know, this is the time that we got to take off for each other because, you know, they make a lot of sacrifices for me to do this, and so I got to, you know, I got to be the dad right now. I got to be the husband. And then it's like, all right, I get that, I respect that. But if it's kind of just like, meh, I just don't want to, that's something different entirely. Yeah, I just want to go to Egypt like Aaron did, or whatever the heck he did. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's just ultimately sad to see the Steelers in just kind of this weird situation. The biggest name that they have right now is DK Metcalf. There's no quarterback to throw to him. He's not even at OTAs. You really can't bank on him to being like a true leader and a true culture setter. Even want to even continue to carry the culture of Mike Tomlin. Like, you just can't really 100% rely on it. Kind of confused by what the Steelers are ultimately looking to achieve. If you're a fan and you're watching, you know, you're kind of going through this offseason, like, I don't know what you're necessarily excited about. Do you really have a belief that you're going to be able to make a run and be a great team and win the Super Bowl? Probably not. And do you feel strong about the future? Is there a feeling of like, all right, this season's going to be really bad, but you know what? Next season, there's going to be a great chance that we're going to have a top 10 pick and we're going to be able to get our quarterback of the future. Like, I don't know, man. I really don't know what to say. And I've said this before, you know, with Aaron Rodgers there, like, there would be some intrigue and I'd be interested and I would be excited to see what they could do. But like, and at least it would be something. And, you know, there's a little bit of the feeling of like, I don't know, maybe, you know, some of the quarterbacks that they have could have like a Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, you know, etc. type rise. But it's just like, you know, I don't know. Just doesn't really feel like there's a whole lot to feel good about the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. And I mean, heck, even if you had Justin Fields or Russell Wilson again, you would still kind of have the feeling of like, all right, I saw what we were able to do last year. Hopefully we can build off of that. Like, I don't know. And you're adding DK now. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's definitely weird. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Pittsburgh Steelers? And honestly, just their overall situation and their team right now. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.